Well, everyone, it looks like there is actually a pretty decent ending for iOS 16. Now, WWDC is right around the corner, and we're going to be getting the next beta, the official beta, the big beta of the next version of iOS. And from everything that I typically do, I will typically look back and pretty much just see exactly what's going on with iOS 16, the ending point for a lot of different iPhones. And what I will tell you is that iOS 16 is a pretty decent end to this, I guess, iPhone era, if you will. So basically, as most of us know, it looks like Apple's going to be focusing a lot more on their AR/VR headset going forward, which I'm totally okay with. It kind of makes sense for them to kind of switch products at some point. And it looks like, at least for me, that this so-called like iPhone era in a way, it is kind of what it's looking like. iOS 16, I think, was a pretty decent ending point for this type of thing. Now, iPhones are not going anywhere. They're still going to be here for sure. But again, if Apple's going to be focusing their software on, kind of the AR, XR, OS, whatever it's called, well then, at least with iOS 16, it's a fairly stable version of software. And some of these numbers actually may surprise you. So for one, the adoption rate just from the people who are using iOS 16 as of right now, it's actually pretty high. So Apple basically stated that 81% of all active iPhones ever made are right now on iOS 16. So basically it's up from 72% from February, which is pretty insane. They say 13% of active iPhones are still running iOS 15, and they say 6% are running an older version of iOS. Now, the reason why iOS 15 I think is on 13%, all of us kind of know this by now. Basically, the iPhone 6s and iPhone 7 are pretty much stopped at iOS 15. I'm sure lots and lots of people are still using those phones. So that completely makes sense why that number is still basically what it is. But I still look at an iPhone like the iPhone 7 Plus, and I still think that iPhone could have easily supported iOS 16 and probably even iOS 17. So those are some really interesting numbers. Now, looking forward, what's going to happen if Apple basically stops support of the iPhone 8, iPhone 8 Plus, iPhone 10? I'm not 1,000% too sure. I think there's some room for Apple to go ahead and, pretty much keep supporting those iPhones. I think that's exactly what they need. But if they don't, then these numbers will be skewed in the future, considering that iOS 16, probably a lot of people are still going to be on iOS 16 then. So I think this is a very decent ending point. I've taken a look at basically all iPhones, on iOS 16 so far, and it's been a good experience. I've had a pretty decent time with it myself, and looking forward, I am excited about what iOS 17 has to offer, but I will say, in the future, I am curious to see how much every keynote and how much effort Apple actually puts in for their iPhones going forward, and rather maybe some other products that they have lined up that they're probably going to demonstrate on WWDC. So I'd love to hear your thoughts about this. Let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.